The hydrogen bomb, a weapon so powerful it can flatten entire cities in seconds, a force so violent it rivals the very creation of stars. It doesn't just destroy, it erases. But what is this terrifying invention? How does it work? And what kind of minds created it? In this video, we'll dive deep into the science, history, politics, and terrifying legacy of the hydrogen bomb, also known as the thermonuclear bomb. This is not just a story of a weapon. This is the story of a turning point in human history. Welcome to Unknown Investigator. To understand the hydrogen bomb, we must first understand nuclear reactions. There are two types of nuclear reactions used in weapons: nuclear fission, nuclear fusion. Fission is a process of splitting large atoms, typically uranium-235 or plutonium-239. This releases a tremendous amount of energy and is the mechanism behind the atomic bomb, like the ones dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. Fusion, on the other hand, is when small atoms, like hydrogen isotopes, are fused together to form a heavier element. This is the process that powers our sun, and it releases even more energy than fission. The hydrogen bomb uses both. A small fission bomb is used to trigger a much larger fusion reaction. This combination makes the hydrogen bomb many times more powerful than any atomic bomb ever used in war. Now, let's look inside the hydrogen bomb. Despite its terrifying power, the basic design is conceptually elegant. It's called a staged thermonuclear weapon, or more commonly, the Teller-Ulam design, named after physicists Edward Teller and Stanislaw Ulam, who developed it in the early 1950s. It consists of two main components. Stage 1, the primary fission bomb. This part is very similar to the atomic bomb dropped in 1945. It contains either uranium-235 or plutonium-239. When detonated, it creates extreme heat, a powerful shockwave, an intense burst of X-rays. But that's just the beginning. Stage 2, the secondary fusion fuel. The explosion from the primary compresses a second component that contains deuterium and tritium isotopes of hydrogen, often a rod of uranium or plutonium as a fissionable spark plug, surrounding tamper materials to contain and reflect energy inward. The X-rays from the primary create radiation pressure that compresses the fusion fuel to incredible densities. At the same time, a spark plug undergoes its own fission, further heating the core. Under these conditions, pressures over 100 million atmospheres and temperatures over 100 million degrees Celsius, the hydrogen atoms fuse. This is the moment of thermonuclear ignition, and the result is beyond comprehension. Some bombs are even built with third stage, where additional layers of fusion fuel are added, multiplying the destructive power again and again. This is the ultimate expression of weaponized science, controlled, deliberate, and apocalyptic. Let's rewind to the years after World War II. The United States had dropped atomic bombs on Japan, demonstrating fission weapons to the world. But by 1949, the Soviet Union had successfully tested its own atomic bomb. The nuclear monopoly was over. The U.S. government, shocked and fearful, accelerated research into a new type of weapon, one based on fusion, not just fission. Physicist Edward Teller was a driving force behind the idea of a super bomb, a bomb far more powerful than the atomic weapons of the past. After intense debate within the scientific community, and despite ethical objections from figures like Robert Oppenheimer, the project moved forward. On November 1st, 1952, the United States tested the first hydrogen bomb in the Marshall Islands. It was called Ivy Mike. The explosion produced a fireball over 3 miles wide. It vaporized the island of Elyage Lab. The yield? 10.4 megatons of TNT, about 700 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. But it didn't end there. In 1953, the Soviets tested their first thermonuclear bomb. The arms race had reached a new, terrifying phase. In 1961, the world witnessed the most powerful explosion ever created by humans. The Soviet Union detonated the Tsar Bomba over Novaya Zemlya archipelago in the Arctic, originally designed to yield 100 megatons. It was scaled back to 50 megatons, still over 3,000 times the Hiroshima bomb. The fireball was 8 kilometers wide. The mushroom cloud reached over 60 kilometers into the sky. Windows shattered 900 kilometers away. The shock wave circled the Earth 3 times. And yet, this bomb was too large to be practical. It was more a demonstration of power, a political statement. But it showed the world what thermonuclear weapons were truly capable of. Fusion is often called the holy grail of energy. It's clean, efficient, and powerful. In a hydrogen bomb, fusion occurs under extreme conditions, impossible to replicate naturally on Earth without an explosion. Here's the basic equation. Deuterium plus tritium, helium plus neutron plus energy. This energy comes from a tiny amount of mass that's converted directly into energy, as described by Einstein's famous equation, E equals mc squared. The hydrogen bomb is proof of this equation's terrifying potential. Just a few kilograms of fuel can release energy equivalent to millions of tons of TNT. After the hydrogen bomb became a reality, the world changed forever. Nuclear strategy entered a new phase, mutually assured destruction or MAD. The logic was brutal but effective. If one nation launches its nukes, the other will retaliate, and both will be annihilated. This deterrence kept direct war between nuclear powers at bay, but it also led to arms stockpiles in the thousands, nuclear submarines roaming the oceans, warheads placed on hair-trigger alerts. The hydrogen bomb became not just a weapon, but a political tool, a symbol of power, dominance, and fear. The hydrogen bomb raises serious moral questions. Many scientists involved in its creation later regretted their work. Could we justify a weapon that could kill millions in seconds? Were we safer, or just one mistake away from extinction? Leaders and scientists wrestled with these questions for decades. Figures like Oppenheimer famously opposed the H-bomb, believing it crossed a line. But governments pushed forward, arguing it was necessary to maintain peace through strength. This debate continues to this day. Today, thermonuclear weapons are held by multiple countries: the United States, Russia, China, France, the United Kingdom, India, Pakistan, North Korea, possibly others in secret. There are an estimated 13,000 nuclear weapons on Earth, many of them hydrogen bombs. And while full-scale war has been avoided, tensions remain. Conflicts, human error, cyber attacks, or terrorism could spark a disaster. The hydrogen bomb stands as a symbol of both human brilliance and human danger. Can we trust ourselves with such power? Can we move beyond fear to cooperation? Or will this ultimate weapon one day be used again? The hydrogen bomb is the most powerful device ever created by mankind. Born from science, built in war and feared by all, it forces us to ask hard questions about power, ethics, and the future of humanity. This was the true story of the hydrogen bomb. I'm the unknown investigator. If you found this video thought-provoking, subscribe for more deep dives into science, mysteries, and the secrets of our world. Stay curious, stay cautious, and remember, knowledge is power.